Hello and welcome. Here is another video about SMMware, software for running the day-to-day operations of senior move management companies. This video focuses on availability-based scheduling in SMMware. For an introduction to all the options for scheduling and calendars, watch our separate video, Schedules and Calendaring. For a general overview of SMMware, please see our introductory video at our YouTube channel. Just browse to youtube.com and search for SMMware. Okay, let's begin. There are two parts to the availability-based scheduling. The first consists of employees entering their availability into the system. You can move from week to week and enter time by clicking and dragging within a given section. You can click on a time span to remove it. You can drag and drop time spans, and you can resize them. I'm going to move to a week that doesn't have anything presently entered into it, and just to show you what it's like to work with an entire week's worth of data. You just move through it day by day, entering the time spans that you're available. And as quick as that, you can enter an entire week's worth of data. Since I'm logged in as an administrator, I can enter the availability of other employees. And it works in the same fashion as for myself. Once all the employees have entered their availability into the system, the next step comes when you sit down with a client and you negotiate exactly when the work can be done for their tasks. I'll switch to the availability-based approach to attendee management. And I'll move to a day of the week that has some availability entered into it. You can see that existing events are already in the system so that you don't overwrite one over the other. You can use this as your workspace. You drag this time slot from left to right, and you can resize it as appropriate for your project. And then you select the employees that you want to work on the project based on their availability. And once you have them selected, choose this one instead. There's a little bit more of a gap. You'll notice that even though the bar extends past the time slot, once you save it, it will slice out the appropriate chunk and release the rest of it to be still available. Now we can see that these are employees that are assigned to this particular task. We can see other tasks they're assigned to. And if they can no longer work on this task, maybe they have a doctor's appointment, you can release them from the task, and at that point, once you hit save, then this time will just be open time where they're not available, which makes sense because they have a doctor's appointment. If you click on this again, then that released time becomes available once more. So for instance, if you had to remove them from this project, but they're still available to do work, then this is appropriate. And once again, you have to hit save for these changes to be committed to the database. The idea here being that this is a scratch pad where you can play around with some different configurations, and then when you're set, then you can hit the save button, things are committed to the database, and emails can go out to the employees. I'd also like to point out a new aspect within scheduling. This is true for all the different approaches to attendee management. You can now skip the event notifications. Some employees just keep an eye on the calendar and they prefer not to receive emails, and the system normally sends out an email when someone is added or removed from an event, but if you want to skip that, just go ahead and check that. And we'd also like to point out that clicking on the name of an employee will move them to the top of the list. So once you have, say, 10, 15 employees and the ones you're interested in are scattered throughout that list, it's helpful visually to move them up to the top of the list. And clicking on them will do that for you. So then that way you have a nice overview of everything that you're planning. Let's go ahead and take a look at this on a phone. In this case, it's an iPhone. And this is an actual iPhone where the screen is being shared. It's not a simulation. And you can see that it works in just the same way as it does on the desktop. So you can create events, delete events, resize them, drag and drop them. Now let's take a look at the scheduling aspect of it. And in this case, I do prefer to work with it in landscape mode. This is a new event. We're going to change it to the availability-based approach. And you can see all the details that you worked with in the desktop version. There's a little bit more scrolling required because it's in a smaller window, but you can still move the time slot. And expand it, resize it, and you can select employees. And you can see that it works just the same way as it does on the desktop. And on an iPad, there's even more space in the window, so it's even easier, less scrolling. There are a number of aspects about the calendar that can be customized per SMMware client, such as the colors of the different bars, the days of the week that appear in the availability command, and the time of day, the start and the end. So it doesn't have to go from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. If you never work past 5, we can shorten this up, which can reduce scrolling when you're on a phone. And that concludes our introduction to availability-based scheduling in SMMware. To find out more, visit our YouTube channel by browsing to youtube.com and searching for SMMware. Or you can visit our website at www.smware.com. Or you can call us at 240-285-4619 with questions or to arrange a demo. To be notified of new videos as they are added, subscribe to our YouTube channel. SMMware is an industry partner with NASM, the National Association of Senior Move Managers. We appreciate your time and hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.